اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to a new episode of the SimplyRYQ Let's Master Surah Al-Baqarah series brought to you by TVQ.Academy, your borderless school of the Quran. Alhamdulillah. By Allah's will, today we are celebrating the end of a part and looking forward to the beginning of a new part tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, which means today we are having what we have been calling learning on the go, a special episode where we answer some questions, highlight some relevant matters related to what we are doing here. And today, by Allah's will, we will be having a SimplyRYQ Q&A. I will explain this in a while, but this is our learning on the go for today, and we have session number 5. Without further ado, let's do this. What we have today, we have 4 items, inshallah ta'ala. And the first item, as you have rightly guessed, is none other than SimplyRYQ Q&A. What is this? We had it as learning on the go, but I have thought and suggesting to the good people out there to call it SimplyRYQ Q&A instead of learning on the go. Why is it so? This is to make it easy for us to find it on the channel, on the YouTube channel, TVQ.Academy's YouTube channel. In fact, on Facebook as well. So let's take a look here. We have SimplyRYQ YouTube channel. If you come here and navigate to playlist, all right, navigate to playlist, you will be welcomed by the available playlist in TVQ.Academy. And for the information of anyone who may be seeing this for the first time, we have covered the Arabic alphabet, as you can see, the Amma practical Tajwid series, and Makharij al-Huruf, articulation of the Arabic alphabet. And we have other SimplyRYQ stuff, which I made some course workshop, online workshop here. Now, we also did SimplyRYQ Surah Al-Mulk, and this is where everything started at the beginning. And we did some things with some kids during last Ramadan. And today we have our SimplyRYQ Surah Al-Baqarah. This is where we have been putting everything regarding today's activity. Okay. And now, what I have just created is SimplyRYQ Q&A playlist. In other words, a folder. So if we view it fully, we will be welcomed by the available 4 episodes. Learning on the go, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So it is Q&A number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 today. This episode which you are watching, should be coming somewhere here after it's been uploaded by Allah's will. Now, this will make it easy for you and for me to find them accordingly. Another good thing about it is that because we are suggesting other programs under SimplyRYQ, now we are working on Surah Al-Baqarah. And if you have watched my previous video or my video, which I shared behind the scene back end of how I recorded this when I finished recording the last episode of Surah Al-Baqarah, you may check it on my personal channel, One Baba Salam. I will put the link in the description. In that video, I did mention what we have in the pipeline. So if you are watching this, please do take note that by Allah's will, after we finish the SimplyRYQ Surah Al-Baqarah successfully, we have in the pipeline other SimplyRYQ which are beneficial and you cannot afford to miss it. We have in the pipeline Juz Amma, we have in the pipeline Juz number 29, and we have in the pipeline Surah Al-Kahf. Each one of them is SimplyRYQ, SimplyRYQ, SimplyRYQ. Now we are working on SimplyRYQ Surah to Al-Baqarah. Therefore, SimplyRYQ Q&A will be relevant to each project on its own, but every SimplyRYQ Q&A or relevant discussion like this will go into the folder of SimplyRYQ in the YouTube or Facebook channel accordingly. Why they can all be found in the SimplyRYQ Q&A playlist, as you see here. Why they can all be found here. Each of them will also be found in its relevant project accordingly. So if the Q&A topic or the Q&A episode discussion is related to Surah Al-Baqarah, you will find it here in this folder here, and you will also be able to find it in the SimplyRYQ Surah Al-Baqarah if you are following it episode by episode in sequence. If the episode is relevant to Surah Al-Kahf, for instance, then you will also be able to find the same in the episode of. You will find it here in this folder, and you also be able to find in the folder of Surah Al-Kahf when it is done. And the same is applicable to Juz Amma and Juz number 29 and other future SimplyRYQ projects by Allah's will. So basically, that is what the SimplyRYQ Q&A is all about. I hope this is helpful, inshallah ta'ala. If you have any better name for this, we just move it from SimplyRYQ learning on the go into SimplyRYQ Q&A. If you have any better catchy name that will make it more dynamic, more practical, please do share. Please do share. I can change it here in the next SimplyRYQ Q&A, and also change whatever thumbnail is there in the channel, inshallah ta'ala. It should not be a problem. As long as it sounds better than this, and also can motivate better than this, then why not? Our next item is, it can be too late. So what are you waiting? What are you waiting for? This episode is episode number 61, which means we have been together for 2 months, 2 good months by Allah's will. They say it is better late than never, but it is better early than late. Yes, it is better late than never, but it is also better early than late. If we can afford to be early, why should we be late? If you are watching this and you are starting today, then you are not late. But if you wait until tomorrow, then you are likely going to be late. Starting today is better than tomorrow. Anyone who has started, and I'm very certain some watching this have started with us from episode number 1, introduction, into episode number 2, Surah Al-Fatiha, into episode number 3, verse number 1 to verse number 5 of Surah Al-Baqarah. And they have followed patiently, consistently, day by day, and developed the stamina and strengthened their bonding with the Quran from day 1, 2 months ago until this very episode. I am certain of this. For them, it's early than late. I am happy to share that as we are celebrating episode number 61 today, we have some subscribers in the family today who have started following 40 days after we have started, or somewhere 50 days after we have started. And today they have been following from episode number 1, 2, 3. They are celebrating episode number 13. Episode number 13. Praise be to Allah. Now, if you are watching this for the first time and you have known it or not known it and you haven't started, today is the day. It's better late to start today than never. But starting today is better than tomorrow. Tomorrow may be too late. What are you waiting for? So some have started from day one, and today they are celebrating 61 days. Some are celebrating 13, 14, 10 days. Some are celebrating day one, and it's going to be fruitful. The ones who will not have the chance to celebrate are the ones who are saying, I will start tomorrow. Tomorrow may end up in Akhirah. If you start today with the correct intention, for Allah's sake, to learn and be better in mastering Surah Al-Baqarah and creating a good bonding with the Quran, to learn to practice it and be a better Muslim. If you start today, even if you only start with the introduction and Surah Al-Fatiha and you kick the bucket, tomorrow may Allah grant all of us good ending. Allahumma ameen. And you kick the bucket because you started with the intention of finishing. Inshallah, you will attain the reward of those who will finish it successfully, even if you didn't finish it. So today is the day. It can be too late. It's better late than never, but it is better early than late. Now, for the good people who have subscribed to this and are benefiting from it and can testify to the benefit you are enjoying in yourself, which cannot be described, don't keep it yourself. Don't keep it yourself. We are doing this because we want to go to Jannah. We are doing this because we want to see you and see you in Jannah. Jannah is definitely going to be blissful. No doubt about that. But you alone in Jannah is going to be boring. Me alone in Jannah is going to be boring. You alone and me alone, if the two of us come together, is going to be more blissful than you alone and me alone. You alone and me alone, even though it is going to be blissful, but it's going to be boring with only the two of us alone. Jannah is going to be blissful with us together with our loved ones. Don't let these benefits stop at you. Don't keep it to yourself. In our strive to Jannah, we cannot be selfish. Sorry, I'm not saying you are selfish, yeah. In our strive to Jannah, we cannot be selfish. We have to share. If the companions of the Prophet ﷺ were selfish and did not share, it will have not reached to us. Share this with your loved ones. Share this on your social media. Share this on your WhatsApp status. Share this as much as you can. Talk about it. Ya akhi, if you are to share this, don't just share the link. Tell your loved ones why it is important, why they should subscribe, why they should join. Tell them how it benefits you. This is how we can market it. You will be surprised to know that in the status, when you share it in status, people will just scroll and move on. But if you talk about it, then people will develop interest in it. All right? So just as we are not keeping it to ourselves, we are sharing with one another here, we should also share it with the people who I am not in contact with, and the people only you have contact with or have touch, can be in touch with them. So yes, it is better late than never, but it's better early than late. And if you are already here, Jannah is going to be blissful. See you in Jannah. But you and I alone in Jannah is going to be boring. We don't want a boring Jannah. All right, so let us do this with all our loved ones together. Oh yes? Yes. Moving on. Our next item says, how to revise and stay consistent. This is a very good question. How to revise our daily activities and remain consistent. Of course, remaining consistent is not about remaining consistent in ibadah. That will come from our intention, sincerity, and why we are doing it. However, let's take a look at how we divided the whole SimplyRYQ Surah Al-Baqarah project. We suggested that Surah Al-Baqarah is divided into 5 sections. Section number 1, the line you see here is section number 1. section number 2, section number 3, 4, and 5. And each section comes with parts, has 4 parts, except section number 5, which came with 3 parts, because this is only less than a part. Now, section number 1 has 4 parts, section number 2 has 5 parts, section number 3 has 4 parts, section number 3 has 4 parts, and so on. And in each part is divided into what we call daily chunks. So instead of here we having 1 to 25, 26 to 43, 44 to 59, 60 to 74 to cover section number 1, we also have divided 1 to 25 into what we call daily chunks. And daily chunks consist only few verses, sometimes 1 verse, sometimes 2 verses, and so far we have not divided any into half a verse, not in this program. All right, but with some kids in my classes, yes, I do that. So this is what we call daily chunks. And in the daily chunks also, we don't straight away take the verse in one shot. We don't just read إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةٌ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. And we are done. We don't do it that way. If we did it that way, it would have not been different from any conventional way of teaching the Quran outside there. We did it differently, and we do it differently. How do we do it? This is a daily chunk, daily activity. This daily activity, in order to master it, we break it into bites. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ, a bite. أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ, a bite. لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, a bite. So this verse is 3 bites already. خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ, a bite. وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةٌ, a bite. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, a bite. So this daily activity, this whole chunk consists of 6 bites. In order to master it, these 6 bites, we repeat them a few times. After repeating them a few times, we combine them together. Combining them together after breaking them into bites has enabled us to read it with confidence, with no fear. This is step 1 of consistency. This is step 1 of consistency. So what we have done to this daily activity, which is verse number 6 and 7, we have already done the same to verse number 1 and 5. Now you will be asking, why didn't I share 1 to 5 instead of 6 and 7? This is because it takes 2 slides. It will take more time, and this takes only 1 slide. So easy, right? So the same way we mastered verse number 6 and 7 is the same way we did verse number 1 to 5. Imagine yourself today is your 3rd day. So 2 days ago or 3 days ago, today is your 4th day then. 3 days ago, you did Surah Al-Fatiha. The day after, you did 1 to 5 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Yesterday, you did 6 and 7. And today, you are doing 8, 9, and 10. After you finish mastering 8, 9, and 10, please do combine from Al-Fatiha, 1 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Combine it. After you have practiced, you have engaged. We have agreed that when we read, we engage. Yes, we are virtual. You see me virtually. I don't see you, neither virtually nor physically. But we are engaged. So as I am speaking and talking and reading, please read after me when I give you the chance to do so. So after you have mastered 8, 9, and 10, don't call it a day yet. Combine it from the beginning. And it's only another 5 minutes or so. Tomorrow, inshallah, when you do 11, 12, and 13, after you have mastered it, that's the chunk. After you have followed how we break it into bytes and master it and combine and do whatever it is we do. After you finish, combine from the beginning. Do so until you finish one part. 1 to 25 is part number 1 of section number 1. So do this until you master part 1. Once you finish part 1, you are going to move on to you will be having learning on the go. All right. Once you are done with that, moving on to part number 2. After you finish, the same way you master this and keep on combining, do so and combine this. If you have extra time, combine from here and here. At the end of section number 1, you should be able to read it in one go. You should be able to read it in one go. I have shared here before a man in the middle of his 50s who shared his experience and excitement and happiness when he first read 30 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah for the first time in his life after following this program. Today, I'm happy to report that this same man has read to me 10 pages of Surah Al-Baqarah, and that was his first time in his life. So, this consistency comes, of course, with determination. It's a decision to make. Yes, I want to achieve it. Make the time. Let go a lot of things. Sacrifice things that are meaningful but less meaningful compared to the Quran, compared to Surah Al-Baqarah, and you are all already there, inshallah ta'ala. So back to the question, how do we develop the consistency to revise and remain consistency in revision? The same way we are patiently doing our daily activities by breaking into bytes, and you read after me patiently without just keeping your mouth, keeping quiet and just watching. The same way you patiently do, you can be patient in combining daily activities, current activities with previous activities after every day until you are able to combine 2 parts together, 3 parts together, 4 parts together. That is one section, and then move on to the next section. Surah Al-Baqarah can be read in one whole sitting. It can be read in one single sitting. But why are we not doing that? Of course, it is not practical for someone who doesn't have the experience, let alone who doesn't know how to read properly, who doesn't have the fluence, it is not practical. Is it achievable? It is definitely achievable. It is definitely achievable to read it in one setting. But if you see someone who reads Surah Al-Baqarah in one setting, he didn't do that the next day he was born. He learned it, crawled with baby steps, the same way we are doing today, until he earned the experience, the knowledge, and whatever in order to be able to do that. If he can do that, I can do that. If I can do that, you can do better. But before you are able to do better, you have to develop some patience, some determination, to let go some other meaningful things in life, but less meaningful compared to this. And inshallah, you will be on the right track. So I hope this answers the question of how to revise and stay consistent, inshallah ta'ala. Now, moving on, some good news for those with children. What we are doing here, this particular SimplyRYQ Let's Master Surah Al-Baqarah, the main objective is not for memorization. It is to help anyone who has the foundation of reading the Quran. He already knows how to identify the Arabic alphabet. He has gone through Juz Amma, and therefore he needs some boost and motivation and push to master Surah Al-Baqarah. That is the main objective of this. And I am seeing the objective being achieved, mashallah, colorfully. But the good news is that it is beyond even that. It is beyond even that. For anyone who follows us patiently and actively means he really reads after us. He really reads after me. He does not just watch like he watch a movie or an entertainment. This is not, I mentioned this before. This is not a passive, this is education. This education, this is learning, this needs interaction. All right. So if he's that said, of course, if someone is just watching, is it beneficial for him? Yes, it's beneficial. It's definitely better than him watching music or watching any Hollywood or Bollywood or Nollywood, whatever. It's definitely better. But that's not the objective. The objective is to interact and be able to read on your own. It is not always that we will have the internet with us. It is not always that we will have someone to read for us. And if it will benefit us for someone to read for us, it will even benefit us more when we are able to read it on our own. In order to do that, we have to do something. And this is what we are doing. Okay? Back to the point. Anyone who is following this program in order to master reading Surah Al-Baqarah, believe it or not, you will find yourself subconsciously repeating some words and verses, autopilot to say. It come out on its own because you have repeated it a few times, many times even. Because you have repeated it many times. This is even for adults. This is even for adults who minds are clouded with, mashallah, a lot of problems to solve, a lot of issues to attend to, a lot of deadlines to meet, a lot of workloads to offload, and so on. Yet, when we repeat this, we see that, subhanallah, sometimes we may not be able to recall it, but it's just on our tongue and just waiting to come out. Simply because we have repeated it a few times only. And again, this is not enough to memorize, but yet we see it coming out on its own. Ya akhi, if you play this for your kid, you will see miracle, inshallah. If you play this for your kid, you will see miracle, inshallah. Especially that we repeat every bite, every bite of a chunk many times, and then we repeat every chunk more than one time. If you replay this Surah Al-Baqarah, SimplyRYQ Surah Al-Baqarah, for if you have a baby at home, if you have a child at home, if you have an infant at home, of course, first you must take out music out of the house. This one we cannot emphasize enough. Take music out of your house, out of the house. Even if it is called nasheed, take it out. If nasheed is beneficial, Quran is more beneficial. If music keeps you calm, if it does, then the Quran will give you tranquility. But music will bring in the devils, which we are reading Surah Al-Baqarah to kick out. So we have to put in the initiative to kick out the means and the source, the things that bring in the devils, for the Al-Baqarah to purify the house. For the Al-Baqarah to purify the house. So back to the point. If you have kids at home, if you have babies at home, let this be on the TV. But play this all the time. And you may want to dedicate one episode for it every day. One episode every day, starting from the beginning. Surah Al-Fatiha, the first 5 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, and then episode number 5, episode number 6. That episode, play it throughout the day as long as you are at home, or as long as you can play it for the kid. It's okay. Let the kid playing, do whatever they are doing, or just keep this playing, and you will see the result. Does it mean that we cannot play other Quran? Of course, it's better to play Quran than not playing at all. It's definitely better to play Quran than playing music in the house. It is, if you're not playing Quran, don't play music. A quiet house is better than a house with music in it. Okay? But a house where you play or read Quran, when you read the Quran, it's better than playing it, but playing it is better than not playing it at home at all. However, when we have babies, when we have kids, the intention to play it for them is not only for protection, but to let them learn it on their own. Let them learn it on their own. They will memorize it in no time. In no time. And if you do it, after a few months, you can share with us your experience, and hopefully we can also use it to motivate others, inshallah ta'ala. I'm certain that it works. It's only a matter of whether we are going to do it or not. And that one is up to us parents to do. Yes, please, if you have other alternatives, by all means, other Quran alternative, as long as you engage and play Quran for your children. This is what I want. It's not, it has to be TVQ.Academy. No, it doesn't have to be to be that. It doesn't have to be SimplyRYQ. As long as it is Quran, that is what matters. So with that, today we have covered 4 items. The idea of SimplyRYQ Q&A instead of learning on the go. And then it's not too late. And then how to revise and stay consistent. And then please play this in the house all the time if you have babies and kids or grandchildren for that matter. Until tomorrow, in episode number 62, I leave you in Allah's protection. See you in Jannah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم